Hey, what's up guys, Benny here, and welcome to my top 10 best loadouts for Call of Duty Warzone Season 6. And if you're new around here, take a second to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future Warzone content, and share your favorite loadout down in the comments below. But these loadouts are the ones that you're going to need to be able to win as many games of Warzone as possible in Season 6. I'm going to start off with my favorite meta loadout right now, the Cold War AK-47 and the Cold War MP5. Now, the AK-47 has actually shot up to the top of the meta list for long-range assault rifles, with nerfs to the Krig, the C58, the MG82, and the Stoner. This thing has just sort of leapt its way to the very top. Now, on it, you're going to want to have that GRU suppressor, the 20-inch Spetsnaz RPK barrel, the Spetsnaz grip, the 45-round mag, and then the Axial Arms 3x scope. It's a pretty standard build, but it is unbelievably good. Very fast time to kill at close range, as well as medium to long, which makes it a great sniper support as well. But pairing this with the Cold War MP5 is actually a great combination. Now, I'll be honest, the Cold War MP5, if you don't have the Half Moon sight, which I get with the Paint Blaster blueprint, is not really my favorite. The iron sights can be quite obtrusive and just kind of like makes it really hard to track your shots properly. But if you got the Half Moon, it's pretty damn great, to be honest. And with that build, I've got the agency suppressor. I don't use a barrel, so I keep that Half Moon sight. Tiger Team Spotlight, Raider stock, Bruiser grip, and the 50-round drum mag. So really high mobility MP5 build. Incredible. I think it's one either first or second place for the best SMGs in Warzone right now. And I think we'll see it start being used a lot more in the pro scene over the OTS after those OTS changes. Next, let's move on to our next loadout. By the way, perks, lethals, and tacticals are all pretty much the same, other than on a cup on my restock class, which I'll show you later on in the video. But C4, heartbeat sensor, pretty much my two go-tos in Verdansk. Now, the second loadout is very, very close to the Cold War AK, and there's arguments for both. It comes down to personal preference, but we have the FARA. Now, this FARA build is unbelievable and also has the fastest time to kill out of the assault rifle now that are in the meta, like the XM4, the AK-47, and the FARA, over 27 meters. So those long distance fights, the FARA is going to come out on top, and because it's got a high fire rate as well, gives you a big margin for error. It is a little bit trickier to use, but the recoil is definitely manageable. I used a suppressor on here because the damage profile means that I don't need that extra damage range, and it doesn't have that much vertical kick either. So that suppressor just means that I've got that faster ADS and sprint to fire speed, which kind of negates the biggest con of the FARA compared to like the AK-47, which is it's kind of like ADS and sprint to fire. I've then got the 18.7-inch Spetsnaz RPK barrel. We've got the Spetsnaz grip, the 60-round mag. If you're playing solos, duos, etc., you can drop that down to the 45. Iron Trials definitely have the 60, and then the Axial Arms 3x. Now, I do think it's a battle between the FARA and the AK. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. But I've been using the FARA a bunch, but I think I am very torn. I'm going to be honest. I think they're very close, and it just kind of depends what your mood is. Now, with that, we've got the PPSH, the highest damage per mag SMG. I love this, and this build is super mobile. Like, you will be running around like Speedy Gonzalez. It's so much fun to use, and if you watch my streams, you'll see that I use this all the time. But sound suppressor for faster sprint fire and ADS speed. You don't need the GRU for the extra damage range because it's already best in class for that. You got a Tiger Team Spotlight, Spetsnaz PKM stock. It's going to give you that ADS firing move speed and a walking movement speed, so you're on skate. A lot harder for you to track, and then you can kind of take advantage when you're using a controller of the aim assist, a little bit more rotational aim assist is unbelievable. Then the Bruiser grip for that faster movement speed, and then that 71-round drum mag. So like if you're playing Rebirth, you just mow down like entire squads without needing to reload. It's insane, especially in Iron Trials as well. This thing is a beast. But one of my favorite loadouts in the game right now. Next, we've got our next meta assault rifle, which is the XM4. Agency suppressor, 13.5-inch task force, Axial Arms 3x, field agent grip, 45-round mag. As I said, those are the top 3 ARs right now for mid to long range. XM4, FARA, Cold War AK-47 comes down to personal preference. In my personal opinion, I go, I'm going to say AK-47, FARA, XM4. And with that, I'm then pairing it with the MAC-10, which is an unbelievable SMG still. I think the SMGs are in the best place possible. It comes down to personal preference. So this is the build you want to be using if you're using the MAC-10, Agency Suppressor, 5.9-inch Task Force barrel, Tiger Team Spotlight, SAS combat stock, so you've got that kind of like skater feel, and the 53 round drum mag. This is probably the easiest SMG to use because of the high fire rate, so it gives you a big margin for error. So if you're not super comfortable with your aim and like confident in that side, use the MAC-10 over like the Cold War MP5, for example. The PPSH is also a pretty friendly SMG to use. Next, we've got the M2 with the Lotus. Now, the M2 did receive a nerf. It's the more challenging assault rifle to use, but if you can handle it, it's really rewarding. You can drop people very, very quickly. It's hard hitting, but it is a lot harder to use. So you're not going to be able to necessarily hit your shots as consistently as if you're using the AK-47 or the XM4. But, you know, if you're one of the higher skill players and you've got great aim, this is going to do absolute bits for you. Agency Suppressor, 25.8 Task Force, Field Agent Grip, 40 round, Axial Arms 3 times, pairing it with the Lotus, which is the current go-to for every pro player as an SMG. In custom tournaments, got really fast time to kill. Mag size is kind of a punishment to it, but, you know, the damage output and the fire rate kind of make up for it. Groove Suppressor, 8.1 Task Force, 50 round Fast Mag, Serpent Wrap, and the KGB Skeletal Stock. Received some nerfs for Season 6, but is definitely still very much in the meta. Next, let's move on to our next class setup, where we have got the QBZ, right, which is the easiest assault rifle to use in the game now. Now, if you struggle with recoil, like, your aim is like a potato. All right, you can't hit a windmill if you try. You really struggle, and you just need something that's going to be like, you know, point, not move. This is the gun for you. The QBZ. It's been like getting little incremental buffs, should I say, over the past couple seasons, and it's now in a really good place. It is definitely usable, and I'd say it's the most user-friendly weapon in the game right now. Agency Suppressor, 15.5-inch Task Force, Field Agent Grip, 60 round drum, and the Axial Arms 3 times. This doesn't move. If you hit those upper chest, neck, headshots, you can drop people quickly. You're going to be hitting those shots at a distance. It's still, it's not the fastest killing weapon. It's just really easy to use, right? And will give you that huge margin for error. And then we've got the AK-74U. This SMG is slept on. I see so many people going, oh, the Bullfrog, the Bullfrog. No, do not use the Bullfrog over the AK-74U. It's not worth it anymore. I love the Bullfrog. It's had its time. I think the AK-74U is better than the Bullfrog now. Groove Suppressor, Tiger Team Spotlight, KGB Skeletal Stock, Bruiser Grip, 50 round drum. Yes, the Iron Sight isn't brilliant, but if you can manage it and you can use it, one of the fastest killing SMGs in the game right now. It is also, I think, quite fun to use, especially on Rebirth. You can run around like crazy. Of course, these are kind of more classes geared towards Verdansk. I might do a separate Rebirth video. Let me know if you want that down in the comments for Season 6. Then in 6th place, we've got my first sniper class. We've got the PPSH, which we saw earlier. Same build, high mobility, paired with the Swiss, which is, in my opinion, is the best sniper in Warzone right now. Like, it's got incredible ADS. You can take people off from like super quickly, multiple squads. Yes, not as strong at aim assist, harder to use, but totally worth it. Groove Suppressor, 24.9 combat recon, 5 MW laser sight, Bruiser Grip, and the Serpent Wrap. Pretty standard build that we've used for a while now. Then our next loadout is our other sniper support class with the Sniper Support XM4. This has got a really good time to kill up close as well as medium range, so kind of pairs with the sniper really well. The only thing I'm changing with the setup we saw earlier is using the Microflex LED over the Axial Arms 3 times. So keep that in mind, but really, really nice build. And then the Kar 98K. Now, with this build, what I would say is you get stronger aim assist with the controller. So it is easier to use. You're going to land those headshots a bit more consistently with the Swiss, but it's not, you can't get as many rounds off. So it's a little bit harder to take out entire squads, but it's that kind of margin. Do you need the assistance with your aim a little bit more, or are you confident with that and you can just take out people a little bit quicker? So that's completely up to you. But Monolithic, Singar Custom 27.6, Tac Laser, Sniper Scope, and the ST Vol Precision Comb stock. And that's my other sniper class. Then we've got a kind of, you know, a little special loadout for towards the end of the video. We've got the Cold War AK-47 that we saw earlier, paired with the MP7. This is another SMG that I feel was being heavily slept on. It's got the monolithic suppressor, FSS recon barrel, 5MW laser, no stock, and the 50-round mag. Very mobile, very good, very similar time to kill the Otis, but with a 50-round mag, Modern Warfare aim assist. Very, very good weapon. And it's kind of just being ignored because everyone's like, oh, Modern Warfare weapons suck now in comparison to Cold War. This is just kind of like snuck its way in Season 6. Give it a go. Let me know how you find it. Then we've got my 2 utility classes. I've got my restock class, which I was using when I was playing with FIFA Kill to almost guarantee wins in Verdansk when you're just kind of locking down a position, using claymores, stun grenades, just to kind of secure a position, lock it down, make it incredibly hard for enemy teams to push. That has my SMG setup with it. So the MP5 that I'm using, I'll switch this to whatever guns I'm using at the time. RPG is a secondary, but normally I'll grab my first loadout first. Then the second one is my Ghost setup, same thing, but I might have a C4 on here instead, but AK-47. But those are my top 10 loadouts for Season 6. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Hope they helped you out, and I will see you next time for more Call of Duty Warzone. Thanks for watching.